Hello everyone and welcome to a new project. This is Blackguards, as you can see, and it is basically the kind of successor, not on my channel, I mean, the succession project to XCOM Enemy Within. The games are developed by different companies and different people and such, so nothing else in common, but the gameplay is quite similar, so this is another strategy game as XCOM Enemy Within was before it, so let's dive right into it, start a new game. I'm going to use basic mode, this game, it's kind of, well, not kind of, it's based on The Dark Eye, which is a similarly pen and paper role-playing game, which was a terrible sentence. It's a pen and paper role-playing game very similar to Dungeons and Dragons, but I believe it's mostly a German one. There's apparently an English version, but I think, yeah, but think Dungeons and Dragons, it's very similar. There are some differences, but they're not really that relevant in terms of how the gameplay works. That's going to be it. So just like, for example, the Knights of the Old Republic, it's going to involve dice rolls to determine hits and crits and all that stuff. The one key difference to Dungeons and Dragons is that high dice rolls are bad, low ones are good. Whereas in Dungeons and Dragons, 20s are good, 1s are bad. It's just reversed, but aside from that, it's really simple. I'm using basic mode, so I can't mess up my characters too much because I haven't played Dark Eye in 5 years. So I think usually we could now distribute points among our attributes, but we're just getting presets which work a lot better. I will call the guy... why not? Let's make it female, so the name works a little better. And we can choose between warrior, mage and hunter. Now, something tells me hunter would be the best choice, because the first two companions we get are a mage and a warrior, but I just want to have a really easy time. Large parts of this game are blind to me, so let's go with a female warrior. I suspect there might be a lot of clipping issues with this hairstyle, but I think it looks best. So our special abilities are armor use, shield fighting and power blow. We have no experience in the wild and are untrained in ranged weapons. We do have training in one- and two-handed swords, great body control and knowledge of treating wounds. Basic knowledge at least. So let's dive right into it.
We might follow our reason, our instincts, or our friends. Sooner or later, all of them deceive us. Trust no one, they say. Especially not yourself. Eleanor!
Okay.
Just go. Don't hesitate.
Face the beast.
Thank you.
Kill the beast. Kill it.
Kill it now.
Yes, I know, thank you. Please let me know how the sound mixing is, if you can hear things well. This game has individual sliders for voice, effect and music, so I can change these around as much as you like. So yeah, let me know how it sounds. There will be a lot of tutorials in the beginning, so the first 2 or 3 episodes maybe won't have that much action, but I will read through these so you understand the game and I am back up to speed, I guess. Welcome! This tutorial will guide you on your first steps through the game, explaining some of the important menus and gameplay mechanics. If you want to play without tutorial text, you can skip them via the options. You can switch the tutorial back on again at any time. Okay, move the camera. With WASD or the arrow keys, you can move the camera. Scrolling the mouse wheel will change the camera angle. Okay, there are 2 areas of movement, a white dash range and a blue action range. The white area indicates the hexes your character may move during the current turn. Hexes always sounds like a negative spell to me, where in fact it's just talking about the hexagon shape of the battleground, the subdivisions of it. If the character stays within the blue range, they may perform an action after moving, like an attack or spell. As soon as you take action, you may no longer move for this turn. Okay, that's all very simple. Left click on the wolf to attack it. You can only attack the wolf if you still have an action left. If you want to end the turn instead, press enter. So, it's all very simple. This is our movement range, this is our dash range. Again, this is something we kind of know from XCOM. And if we stay within the movement range, we can then have an action afterwards. Now, of course, being a fantasy setting, we don't have guns. But I think the thing to do right now is just attack the wolf. And just here on the side, this doesn't, it usually fades away very quickly, but we have a detailed battle log. So this tells me, because I set it to detailed, it actually tells me my die rolls. And so I did the turn starts, the next action was me attacking, and I need to roll 15 or lower to hit, and I rolled 17, so I didn't hit, which basically means the enemy can dodge. Obviously I'm still hitting, but my hit was so badly aimed that the enemy can easily dodge it. The wolf dodges regular attack, the chance was 75%. That was then the end of my turn because I couldn't do anything. The wolf then attacked me with a regular attack. He didn't have to roll a die apparently, but I parried it. The chance for that happening was 25%. And so the wolf was done because he used up his only action, and now it's turn 2. I won't always read these out, but if you like, you can always see the outcome of stuff. And sometimes on critical actions it might be interesting to see how high or low my chance of something succeeding actually was. Again, I had a critical failure there, but who cares? Now, my current weapon is apparently a bashing weapon. It looks to be some sort of hammer. And there we go, dead wolf.
Princess!
No more secrets.
Eleanor! What's going on? What's happening to me?
There's somebody back there!
It's all right. Everything's all right.
The name. Tell us the name.
Lysander! What?
To the hells with you, witch! You slew Eleanor.
No! That's not... What happened to me?
She must tell us the name.
What are you talking about? What name?
Tell us what you know, this instant!
What I know? What name?
Too bad. You leave me no choice. My friend Muratori will make you talk.
Tell us the name. The name!
What name? I don't know any name.
Ouch.
I've always known what I want out of life. To sleep the days away under the sun. I just wanted to live. No more, no less. But the death of the princess changed everything. They think I murdered her. And they might be right. Maybe it doesn't even matter. You come into this world as a nobody, and you leave it as a nobody. They'll put a rope around my neck, and my neck will break. But one question still haunts me. By the Nameless One, what happened to me?
I don't know why you're here, but I have a feeling you shouldn't stay.
How did you manage to free yourself?
You biggins don't know how to lock up an Angra show.
We have company.
Hey!
The ring menu shows you special moves, spells, abilities, and all of an active character's tactical options. You can open and close the ring menu by right-clicking. Okay. And the initiative bar shows the order in which characters, friend or foe, take turns. The marker on the initiative bar indicates when the current turn ends. The higher a character's initiative score, the higher are the chances they'll go first. Wow. So this game was originally designed in German, I believe. So we're currently dealing with an English translation, which might mean stuff like this unforgivable mistake will happen from time to time. But I wanted to make it the succession project to XCOM, so it's obviously gonna have to be in English. The voice acting is fine, so I think we're okay, and the translation isn't that bad, so something we can deal with. Yeah, it should also be noted that for some reason my computer does not really like Daedalic games. They are the developers. So there might be some frame drops. It seems all stable so far, 29 frames at lowest, I think, but it might not stay that way, I really don't know. It shouldn't be a very demanding game, but I guess we'll see. So anyway, initiative and ring menu. The initiative is down here, and as explained, there will eventually be a marker telling us when the turn ends. Now we have a single guard to deal with, and we're both melee characters, so there isn't much to do except for advance a little. Actually, that would be kind of pointless. So ring menu, I just open that by right-clicking, and I can then say to end my turn. And here's the marker. This tells us when the turn will end. My dwarf can go here. And then can we right-click here? Okay, we can right-click anywhere pretty much. And also end our turn. Okay, the enemy guard is not that stupid. We're playing on normal difficulty, by the way. There's easy, normal, and hard, and I'm playing on medium, so normal. Apart from basic attacks, characters can also perform special moves. Norim, for example, can do a power blow with slashing or blunt weapons like his torch. Special moves are more powerful than basic attacks, but they come with certain drawbacks. A power blow boosts a character's damage, but lowers their hit chance. You have to click the action you want to choose, click your opponent to perform the special move. If you change your mind, you can cancel your selection by right-clicking. Okay. Sadly, we're not in range, because the guy didn't move much. We'll see if we can lure him out, because I wouldn't mind having the first strike. If I hit spacebar, by the way, that's waiting. Waiting essentially means I see what the enemy does first. Like that. And now I haven't ended my turn yet, so I can now choose my attacks. I can do a power blow, which adds damage, but as you can see, the chance to hit of a normal attack is 95%. The power blow only has 75%, but we'll do it anyway, because it can do more damage. So I hit on 15 or lower, and I hit the 15, so that's good. And we inflicted a wound on the enemy, which means he now has attack -2, parry -2, dodge -2, ranged combat -2, initiative -2, and speed -2. So wounds really hurt a lot. They are a major disadvantage. And Norim, my little dwarven friend, can also do a power attack. Wow, he hits on 19 or lower, and he rolled a 20. It's about as bad as it gets. I think because of the wound, the guard didn't actually get his turn. I think I'll just do a normal attack because of the higher hit rate, and he's only got 3 health left.
This one will be grateful that he doesn't have too much to carry on his way to the realm of the dead. Here are the keys. So, What's this name, eh? The name that Four Eyes was asking you about.
You mean Lysander?
I call him Four Eyes. Maybe you should just tell him what you know.
Okay. So, what's your name? We technically already know, but I guess the characters don't.
What's your name?
I am Norim.
Just Norim? No son of?
Just Norim.
Why are you here?
So why are you here?
I was trying to protect your country from the dragon. Fight fire with fire. Or so I thought.
What dragon?
The dragon. The golden one. He whose deceitfulness is going to devour us all. Because we've become blind to the eternal fight.
Ah.
I don't have to read these, the dialogue options out, by the way, because it seems they are all fully voice acted.
Let me tell you a secret.
Friends, hello. I love secrets, but I would be eternally grateful if you could free me as well.
Well, of course we're going to free him. So after combat we get this screen telling us how much AP, which is adventure points I believe, we get. We get money. It's basically gold, silver, copper, called ducats, silver, thalas and farthings. And loot possibly. Now you might notice the value on these items is reasonably high, it's all in the gold range, so it doesn't mean we're rich, it just means that the prices are reasonably high, at least on a lot of items. So anyway, take all.
Please open the lock. I'm innocent, as innocent as a man my age can ever be.
He looks to be fairly scarred. Okay, so when we have a dialogue option that has a name in front of it like this, it means it's not our character doing that, or asking about that, speaking about that. It's going to be the character. So Norim has a statement to make about the iron collar.
Why are you wearing that ugly iron collar?
You're right. It doesn't match the shirt, does it?
Why are you locked up?
Why are you locked up then?
If only I knew. I'm a mage from Alantha, no less. Obviously, reason enough to brand me a spy and throw me into the dungeon. The name's Zurbaran, from the House of Florios.
Al-Anfans can't be trusted. The dragon sent him, I tell you.
Okay, well, we don't actually have a choice on whether to release him or not, but it's kind of pointless. I will have to get used to not reading out these texts.
What brings an Alanthan to the country of his enemies?
The weather, the landscape, the women.
Fair enough, fair enough. Unlock the cell. So weather and landscape, by the way, aren't that nice. At least not from what I've seen so far of the game.
I'll open the lock. We could use some help.
Wonderful. Now I only need to get rid of this collar.
Okay, here's some more tutorial. Remember to save as often as possible. You can save a game during combat. After each battle, however, the game will create an autosave. Open the menu to save your progress or load a previous game. You can also quick save or quick load. So that's just the completely standard buttons. I hate how in Knights of the Old Republic by default it's different. And F5 is actually quick load by default. So I think now this it's kind of the map screen. We're not on the main world map yet. We're currently in the prison. So the flame indicates where we currently are, and these indicate places we can go. Now I'm going to go to the guard room next, but first I think I want to get some more tutorial out the way. So the character sheet holds all valuable information about a character. Click a character's portrait to switch between characters. Attributes describe mental and physical traits of the selected character. Here you can see how strong, brave, smart or tough a character is. These attributes influence almost all of your ratings: vitality and astral power, combat ratings and skill tests. If you hover over an attribute with your cursor, all ratings affected by this attribute will be highlighted. Pretty sure it's highlighted, but anyway. So this is currently I have Valyria selected. The AP we get from combat, that's basically our experience. And so our dwarf has 31, we have 75, and Zoberan has 6. I don't know where the 6 here come from. No idea. But we got 25 from combat, and apparently these two got 6 as a bonus somewhere. And our main character got 50 experience for the first quest. Anyway, these AP are what we use to increase our character's capabilities. So for example, well, if I had 380 AP, I could use that to improve my courage, which would in turn improve my attack, my initiative, and my resistance to magic. You can see on here in the list, the affected values are highlit. Yeah. So charisma, for example, doesn't actually affect any of these. It's just for, I think, dialogue options and such. Agility affects a lot of the stuff. Wow. As does strength. Okay. Vitality only affects our vitality, so vitality is our hit points. We have 39 vitality, 39 hit points. That's exactly what that is. So we can improve those directly for a fairly low cost. And resistance to magic is also fairly cheap, but also I'm not going to actually spend any level ups at this point. I'll go on talking for a little bit, just going through the tutorial now. There won't be anything else this episode though, so if you don't care about, or if you already know the game, or if you don't want all that theoretical nonsense, have a good day, and I'll see you again tomorrow, maybe. Here you can get a summary of your character's melee and ranged weapon talents. Under the icons is a slider, determining if you prefer an offensive or defensive stance with the chosen weapon. A high swords rating improves your attack rating, a higher shield rating improves your chance to parry. So once a turn, basically when I'm attacked I can parry, which means I take no damage from the attack. It's not the same as dodging. I think dodging means the enemy basically did a bad attack, but even if he does a superb attack, I have a chance to just parry and it's like, oh, no you didn't. As a warrior, by default I have 7 points invested in two-handed swords, 8 in swords and sabers, and 7 in axes and maces. And apparently 5 in throwing weapons. And again I can improve these using AP. And it obviously improves my ability to fight with that weapon, and the slider they mentioned is down here. I can choose how offensively and defensively I want to be. So if I put it all the way to the right, this will make my chance to hit, and I believe my damage a lot higher, but my chance to parry will suffer. Instead, if I go all the way this way, I won't do as much damage, but I'll be really defensive. And then there's ranged weapons, bows, crossbows, and throwing weapons. They again work slightly differently. And I could decide I want to spec two-handed bashing weapons, for example, like hammers and axes, and then just spec that. But I think I'm okay. Well, for now I'm not going to actually spend any points anyway. And next is talents. No, I didn't make any change. Well, did I? Let me just go back in a moment. Different talents make Survival and Aventuria South considerably easier. Leveling up talents unlocks 4 different talent levels, with thresholds at 0, 8, 13 and 18. Each level grants new advantages. You can learn new talents at trainers you encounter during your travels. Okay, so weapon talents, I think all I changed was how balanced I was with the weapons, but I think that's all okay. Anyway, so again I use AP to level these up. The ones that are locked at the moment, I have to learn at a trainer. So I can't just invest the points to level them up, I have to basically meet guys who know about them. And do I? Yep. It requires basically certain levels to unlock new capabilities for these talents. So currently my perception, just take that, is at level 1. I need to level that up 7 more times to reach level 8, which is when level 2 will become active. At this point I can activate perception to see hidden objects and level 1 traps in an 8 hex radius. If I invest those 7 more points, I will now see objects and level 1 to 2 traps in a 12 hex radius. If I were to go to 13, it would see traps up to level 3, 16 hex radius, and I gain a bonus to initiative. And passively, just because my perception is so good, I gain a bonus to ranged attacks. And if I were to level up all the way to 18, it would just reveal all hidden objects and traps, and still give me the initiative bonus, and I get a +2 bonus to all ranged attacks. So yeah, but it's obviously the price goes up as I increase it further. Now let's look to special abilities. I don't have any spells as a warrior. Here you can find special moves and passive abilities. Special abilities don't need to be ranked up. Many special abilities have other special abilities as prerequisites. Typo there. You can learn new special abilities from trainers. So obviously the magic ones are locked to me. The ones with the lock on it, I think I may have to need trainers to find them. And they have different requirements in addition to finding a trainer, I believe. So for example, if I wanted to learn Dodge 3, I would need Dodge 2, Battle Reflexes, and at least 15 Agility. And obviously Dodge 2 requires me to have Dodge 1, and Dodge 1 merely requires Agility, and then here's Battle Reflexes, which requires Initiative. So this is, I think it's all passive abilities as far as I know. Maybe not. I think Bladestorm, for example, would be an activated one. Anyway, these don't level up, so unlike talents and weapon talents and all that, I don't improve them continuously. I just either have them or don't have them. Yeah, I think I need trainers for most of these though. And armor would use 1, and power, blow, and shield fighting 1 are ones I already have. Now let's switch over to our mage. And this video will be a little longer because of all this, but yeah, I'm assuming you're staying because you want to see all this and you want to know how the game works in a little more detail. So the mage has astral energy, which is basically MP, mana points, energy, whatever it's called in different games. It's the blue bar. It's what you use to cast spells. That's all you really need to know. And I can improve that by just spending points in astral energy. Weapon talents, he by default has, I think, staffs. Let me just make that balanced. I like it balanced. Actually, yeah, let's go with that. That should be okay. Yep, I want to save the changes. He has the same, technically the same passive talents, but he has different ones unlocked already. I think actually he's just missing Warcraft and Treat Wounds, which the main character has. Yeah. So he doesn't have these two unlocked, which means I would need to find a trainer to be able to spec points into them, I believe. But he obviously has spells. Spells basically work like talents, but are much more powerful and an important tactical advantage in combat. Each spell has 4 levels you can unlock during the game, with spell skill thresholds of 0, 8, 13, 18. So just as the special abilities, if I remember correctly. If we unlock those levels, we gain new abilities for the spell, essentially. Now, leveling up the spell by itself will still make them better, I believe. What's he currently got? He's got the Burst of Flame, for example. Ignifaxia's Burst of Flame. No, perhaps it's completely pointless to spec anything. So I think just specking 1 point going from 6 to 7 wouldn't actually change anything, but I might be wrong. Anyway, if I hit level 8, for example, the cost will go up, the talent check modifier will go down, which means it'll be easier to cast it, if I'm remembering correctly. I think what this means is I roll, and then 2 gets added to the roll, and that gets checked against the required difficulty. So if I instead have 0, that means nothing gets added, which makes it easier to get below the threshold that I need. Can target myself and allies, single... this is Standfast Cat-like, it's a completely different spell, but you see the point. It gets more expensive, it'll be easier to cast. and it does more damage. And again, going up another level, I keep misclicking, mouse overing, I guess. It makes it more expensive, makes it easier to cast, and makes it do more damage, and that's basically what happens. This is a basic fire spell. Now for the last level, however, it's actually a little different, because it'll do less damage, but instead of being a single target spell, it now has a cone-shaped targeting area, so it'll actually damage multiple enemies, making it stronger against multiple enemies. Against a single enemy, I would want to cast it at level 3, which I can always do. I can always cast it at a lower level. For example, if I don't have enough astral power to cast it at a higher level, I can choose to go, okay, I'll use level 1 because I don't need or want to use level 2, for example. And the other spell I already have is the Fireball. For the other ones, I believe I need trainers again, and I have a basic healing one. Yeah, it's a healing spell. Pretty easy. We have an Arcane Wall. We'll see about that in just a moment. Fastness of Body is a buff, I think. Yeah, it improves armor rating on an allied character, or ourselves. We can target ourselves as well. And we have something similar. We have basically a debuff which gives enemies reduced agility, making it easier, more difficult for them to dodge. So improving our hit rate, I think. I don't know. Special abilities, he has none. No, he has magic. The range of all spell increases by 1 field, and the hero regenerates a small number of astral points. In every turn. And finally Norim, he is very similar to us. He's also a warrior, I believe. So he has two-handed bashing weapons, which would be axes and maces. He's fairly aggressive with axes and maces. A little more balanced with the two-handed bashing ones, but that's okay. Obviously he can't cast spells and special abilities similar to us, but he has vigilance, which means enemies suffer a penalty on attacks of opportunity when the hero moves past them. I'm not quite sure how the details of that works, but in certain situations, at least when I run past an enemy, they get an attack of opportunity. By me moving into their range, they get to basically get a free attack in. And this makes it easier for those attacks to miss. Armor use 1 and shield fighting we've already seen, and he's got the power blow as well. Wow, this has gone on for a long time, but I think that's it for the moment. Next time, we will go into, well, the guard room. And I'll see you then. Bye bye!